Good morning, Minecraft gamers, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Fun with FlapJack Hardcore Minecraft. In this episode, we are actually in my Hardcore Minecraft world, even though the intro said Hard Mode. This is my Hardcore world that I am building different types of XP farms in right now, and I uncovered this skeleton spawner and decided, hey, I really should show everyone how to clear this all out properly and build yourself a nice XP farm. So what I like to do is do 3 air block spaces underneath of the skeleton spawner, and then in the 4th air block space I build a floor, and then I make sure I clear out above the spawner as well. You need to clear out 2 blocks above the spawner so that you can place a half slab on top of the spawner to prevent anything from spawning and just standing on top of the spawner itself. And then you want to make sure that you clear out a 9 by 9 space in total. So the center of that space is where the spawner is located, and then you can easily place 4 blocks on each side of the spawner going in all 4 directions. That will map out the shape that you need to carve out while you're clearing away all of these blocks. It does at times get a little bit confusing if you're doing it from underneath instead of digging down from up above, but I already had some of this carved out, so I started from down below. So once you get that all cleared away, then you go ahead and make yourself a staircase leading back up into the area where the spawner is located so that we can reshape all of the walls and areas inside of the grinder. Now you don't have to use anything special while you're carving this out and replacing blocks, because this will all be completely dark once you're finished, and no one's ever going to see inside of here unless you do the floor in like a dark black glass. That is an option, but still you're barely going to be able to see through the dark black glass, and you would not notice the detail of any of the blocks up above, so it would be a big waste of your time to do anything fancy. The area that you want to make really nice is down underneath of the grinder when you get everything finished, so that it looks good and you can share it with your friends and not feel embarrassed in any way. You don't want to build this out of ugly cobblestone, but you can use cobblestone as long as you use some polished blocks and make the thing look decent. Now here in the video you see I have created a funnel pushing all of the water towards the center of the space directly below the XP spawner, because that is going to be where the skeletons will spawn and then be flushed into that center hole to drop down into the kill chamber that we're about to build. This is the area, as I mentioned, you can actually use cobblestone and make it look nice, and then I chose to use the world famous diorite. That's right, this is a stone block that most everybody hates in the game. I don't know why. I think it looks okay. It kind of looks like marble. Too many people hate using it because they think it looks like bird poo. But when you get to this point in the video, when I got to this point in the video, I decided to slow down just slightly and explain a few things. We want to make sure that after we get all of these things built and put together, that when the kill chamber is all ready for us to prepare for skeletons to arrive, we want to ensure that the space is no less than 2 blocks tall. You'll see that I'm placing half slabs against the side of a block in the lower portion of that block, so I need to carve out one more block up above to make room for the skeletons. Otherwise they'll all get stuck in a 1 block space, and entity cramming will kick in and cause those skeletons to die after like 24 show up to be slaughtered. We don't want them to auto die. We want to kill them with our sword so we can get the XP. That's why I set up the platform base to have 6 spaces over 6 hoppers leading into my double chest. You can of course set up a sorting system and get yourself set up with several collection chests and do whatever it is that you like to do with your grinder, but this is just the basics of how you get started building your grinder, so I didn't go too far and too fancy. Then I placed some trapdoors where my headspace would be located, and then I also place some trapdoors against the hoppers, and that prevents me from fully pressing myself into the kill area where I can aggro the skeletons and cause them to start shooting arrows. So if you do this little trick with the trapdoors, you'll never run into a problem with the skeletons wanting to shoot you. Once this is all done, you'll be getting ready to let the thing fill up with skeletons, and then once you have all the skeletons sitting there for a little while, you'll be able to whack them with a good looting sword with sweeping edge on it. You want to get sweep 3 and smite 5 if you're going to use it on skeletons or zombies, and that way you can kill them super quick, especially since this grinder doesn't include any type of softening. They are falling only just like 2 or 3 blocks, and that's not enough to cause very much, if any, damage whatsoever. So a sweeping edge 3 and a smite 5 will let you kill them, massive quantities of them, in 2 or 3 hits. And if you're using loot 3, then you'll get to have all kinds of enchanted armor and enchanted bows, and that's very helpful when you start the game. And this is just the way I build the grinder. You don't have to do it the way I do it, of course, but if you follow along the basic principles of what I've shown you in this video, then when it's time for you to start killing skeletons, you're going to have tons and tons to take care of. You'll want to get a good sweeping edge sword to knock these out real quick, but they're going to give you tons of bones, tons of XP, plenty of arrows. So enjoy your grinder when you build it, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.